Luka Doncic told reporters when he saw the trade, he checked to see if it was April Fool's Day. I did the exact same thing, knowing it was February, because none of this makes sense. It actually gets crazier the more time goes on. They traded a 25-year-old, like second best of his generation, for Anthony Davis in a pick. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison held an awkward press conference to talk about his thinking. Couldn't even answer basic questions. They asked, you said this helps in the short term and long term. How is this long term?
Well, I think the long term is the time frame. I think he fits our time frame. If you pair him with Kyrie and the rest of the guys, he fits right along with our time frame to win now.
What? The long term is now? Also, Jason Kidd straight up looks miserable, just like Mavs fans. So why did they actually do this? Well, there's a crazy theory, and actually, it's the only thing that makes sense. It's like, oh, okay, now I get why. But we are learning like insane details about this. First off, the Mavs GM decided that the best way to do it was to pick the trade that he wanted and go to that team. Apparently it was AD. So to avoid the media circus or Luka manipulating where he wanted to go, he called Lakers GM Rob Pelinka 4 weeks ago, a full month, and nothing leaked. The trade was the Lakers getting Luka and role players. The Mavs get AD, Max Christie, and a pick. The Jazz facilitated getting Jalen Hood, Schifino, and 2 picks. But the Jazz didn't even know the details. They didn't know that Luka was involved until 30 minutes before the trade. And Nico apparently has hated aspects about Luka for years. He was Kobe's close friend and representative at Nike. And he compared Kobe's work ethic to Luka and was disgusted. An anonymous Mavs source told ESPN, I mean, who gains weight during the season when you're playing 40 minutes a game? Wonder who said that. So they fired the performance staff. I mean, they canned a health and performance coach, a strength coach, a therapist. It didn't work. Luke even said, oh, they get rid of everybody I like. So he hired his own personal training staff, and that didn't work. Still out of shape with bad D. And he is still dropping 34 points and 10 assists a game during this NBA Finals, but Nico didn't care. And by the way, he mentioned defense wins championships like 10 times during that press conference. Yeah, the Mavs were 22nd in D before the trade deadline last year, then jumped up to 7th after the trades for Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. In the finals, they held Boston to 101 points per game. How much more do you want? You can't beat the opponent when they're scoring 101 points in 2025? No, actually, because the Celtics were just a much better team, okay? They ran into an elite Boston who's just much better. Nico also says that Luka may not have signed his Supermax here. Luka immediately came out and said, no, that is BS. So the number one reason why this happened is because Mark Cuban sold the team. If Nico would have brought this to Cuban, he probably would have fired him for even suggesting it. Cuban once said, if I had to choose between my wife and keeping Luka on the Mavs, catch me at my lawyer's office prepping for a divorce. I mean, say what you want about Cuban's attitude, his reputation, whatever. You could not question his love for basketball. But he sold the team to the Adelson family December 2023. At the time, he said, oh, he's still gonna run basketball, but that ended quick. So when the call came through, the new owners said, no problem. But why? Why ruin a team that you just bought? Well, a Dallas lawyer posted a very interesting theory, immediately reposted by ex-Warriors owner and billionaire Chamath Palihapitiya saying, yeah, this actually makes sense to me. So the theory goes like this. There is one reason why the Adelson family bought the Mavs from Mark Cuban to begin with. They own the Las Vegas Sands Corporation, a huge gambling company headquartered in Las Vegas. But Vegas is about to get an NBA team, right? I mean, Adam Silver has pretty much guaranteed it. Why not own a team in your own backyard? Why Dallas? Because it is influence to expand your corporation by making gambling legal in Texas. California and Texas are the two big cash cows for gambling legalization. Major cash. So this family doesn't give two shits about basketball. They are all in this to make money. Cuban even said, the goal for Adelson is that when we build this new arena, it'll be in the middle of a resort and casino. That's the mission. The last 10 months, Adelson donated $14 million to Texas politicians, but it didn't work. Texas said no to gambling recently, and now they have to wait 2 more full years for another chance to get it done. So they buy the team, they donate millions, they hire lobbyists, and it doesn't work. What next? Well, what if now they could hold the city of Dallas hostage by threatening to move the team to Vegas? And I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. The NBA would never let them move from the number 4 market in the US to a smaller city. But if they piss off fans so much that half the seats are empty, the team's not making money. I mean, Kyrie, AD, and Clay are so old, and they don't have any picks till 2031. I mean, the Mavs aren't just screwed now, they are screwed for years. Could have gotten a ton of picks to rebuild? Nope. They just got 1 pick, the Lakers in 2029, which at one time was considered a real valuable asset. Yeah, not anymore with Luka on their team. That pick sucks. And what about free agents? You know, Kyrie actually went there to play with Luka? Clay left Golden State, said no to the Lakers for a better chance to win in Dallas. This trade screws all of them too. No free agent's gonna choose Dallas after this. So if ruining the team and fan base was your goal, it worked. Okay, they lost about 1 million followers on IG alone. Listen to diehard Mavs fans minutes after the trade went down.
I'm not spending money with that organization.
Ooh.
If I do go there, it's to throw fucking beer bottles on the court.
There's going to be thousands of fans like me, if not more, who will probably not pay any more attention to this team ever again.
I can't find a single fan that's happy about this. And in fact, I'm seeing a lot of fans say, I'm done with this shit.
And isn't it weird that the Mavericks just said that they would refund any season ticket holders who aren't happy with this trade? When does a franchise ever apologize to their fans like this? It's like they're saying, we don't need your money, we don't even need fans. So in 2 years, when that Texas gambling vote comes up again, the Adelsons can say, hey, Dallas hates this team anyway. I mean, tons of money and jobs are gonna leave this state if you don't take gambling seriously. So the Post says the Adelsons didn't trade Luka to the Lakers for old Unibrow Davis. They traded Luka for a gun they could hold to the head of Texas legislators. Authorize our Mavs-centered casino or we're off to Vegas, baby, and the NBA won't say no, which is a great theory. But my one problem with it is that post makes it look like the new owners cooked this all up. I think clearly GM Nico Harrison actually came up with the idea, but when he came to them, maybe they did agree because this theory is true. I mean, if they bought the Mavs for legalization of gambling anyway, and it didn't work, why not do a crazy plan B? But what's really crazy is this trade is so unbelievable that it takes a wild conspiracy theory like this for it to actually make sense. But another trade is getting a lot less buzz, rightfully so, but it is a huge deal that San Antonio got De'Aaron Fox. The Kings are actually pumped about the Luka deal because it takes the focus off how dumb they were. So I broke down that entire trade and how the Spurs absolutely stole De'Aaron Fox from Sacramento.